It's the 15th of October today, Thursday. Last night I went to Gainsborough's house at Sudbury. I was so tired. It was really difficult to concentrate on doing anything, but this is what I managed to achieve. Carl Borges was leading the workshop, and I used some of his idea of working with caustic soda on lino, and this is the lino that I produced. I tried to get the marks which came out most interestingly on this print, and what I did was I sandwiched the caustic between some pieces of acetate and then peeled it apart, and so that when I put the caustic on the lino, it spread really thinly in some places and thick around the edges, and the white areas on this print are the ones that were left, and I felt that was the best print. That was the first one. This was the second one with much reduced white areas, and I printed in yellow first of all. Then I went back and I reworked the lino. I've got it in focus now. And I found that by applying caustic to the surface, it loosened the surface and sort of worried it, so that I could then scrape into it with a sort of blunt blade of a knife. So it has made a very, very subtle plate. And I made the same old mistake. I was using yellow ink, and I am finding, being at Sudbury, that it's because it's the Caligo oil-based inks, which I'm really just not used to working with. And I think I'm also in a workshop for a set period of time at the end of the day. So I'm really feeling at the moment as though I'm sort of floundering with the evening classes and not being terribly productive. But I used the yellow ink first of all. I probably should have used some extender in it to get it pale because it was really bright. And then I thought I could add violet to it and I would get some interesting greys. And even though I used the tiniest bit of violet, it turned it to this sort of olive green straight away. And of course I realised after what I should have done is just printed the pure violet over the top of the yellow in order to mix my colours onto the print. So that was probably an evening for learning by my mistakes rather than producing anything very productive. But what I did do during the evening was make a registration plate for the lino and the paper, and this is the one Carl Borges swears by. This is a method that works. The outside edges which hold the paper, you need to put the masking tape flush to the edge of the card to make sure the paper doesn't slide underneath. It worked pretty well. The only problem I had was because I was washing caustic off my lino and it became a bit damp, it bent, so it was really hard to get the lino lined up with its own pieces of card because they were too shallow to hold a piece of lino that was curved. So actually by the time I got to this print, I was trying to register it by dropping the lino on by eye rather than lining it up. This was 3 different inkings. Interesting in its way, not a print that stands by itself.